place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find that's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day.
This fall, escape to the Smokies for the Bavarian Fall Festival at Anarchista. Enjoy Bavarian-style food, live music, fall colors, and a beer tasting pass you'll love. Enjoy good views with great brews. Get your tickets at anarchista.com.
Well. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the work week, everybody. Thanks for joining for Wake Up with Witcher, a snowy edition of Wake Up with Witcher. Not for everybody, but some of us have seen some snow, others not so much. I drove my kid to school, saw a lot of the rooftops white over in West Knoxville, but my house did not see any snow. So just down the road, we saw some snow on the rooftops. Now, that's the story for the day today, because we're going to see these snows set up in bands. And so that's the way it is. You drive 5 miles, you'll be in the snow. You drive 5 more miles, and you're out of the snow. Some people are going to be like, where? I didn't get any snow. I thought we were expecting snow. And so others are going to be like, wait, hold on a second. It's snowing in my house like crazy. Now, we're not expecting, as we've been talking about all weekend long, a ton of snow this morning. I said, don't wake up and think that you're going to see a ton of snow on the ground. We're not talking about sledding snow, but there is a ball of energy that's going to be heading our way, and that's going to bring us increasing chances for snow, some convective snow, as we get probably past about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon, at which point the National Weather Service has now upgraded most of East Tennessee to a winter weather advisory, or all of it except for the mountain counties. All right, so here's what's going on out there right now. We don't have snow in all locations, but we do have some light snow showers developing up towards Hamlin County, Kingsport, Tazewell, La Follette, and of course into the Smoky Mountains, where we do have some decent snow showing up. This is the rooftops over in downtown Gatlinburg, so you can see how Gatlinburg has seen a little bit of activity already, and the snow machine will continue to crank through the day with a strong northwesterly wind setting up shop. When you look at the big picture, this is what's going on. Now, what I want you to notice is, see that little ball of energy just south of Chicago? Chicago saw some decent snow during the overnight hours, down through Lafayette, Indianapolis. That little ball of energy, not so little actually, is going to be heading our way. There's that piece of energy. Watch as it dives its way into East Tennessee throughout the day. And again, that's going to occur after noon today. Likely to see quite a bit of instability as we get into the 3 o'clock hour, and then that quickly races on out of here as we get into the overnight hours. So here's the latest information from the National Weather Service. Let's see what their timing on that is. It's through 7 o'clock tonight. So the winter weather advisory is through 7 o'clock tonight. The winter storm warning in the mountains of East Tennessee runs until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so that's the kind of story that we're talking about. I know the National Weather Service is sent out a push notification, and you got it with the East Tennessee Weather app if you have the app. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, now's a good time to go to your app store and search East Tennessee Weather. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. You'll be able to stay on top of the situation. Plus, you'll get all the notifications from the National Weather Service, i.e., they sent out a notification this morning saying, hey, they upgraded the valley from no warnings or advisories to a winter storm watch, and not more than 5 minutes later, they issued a winter weather advisory. So a winter storm watch was like, okay, well, we're watching, and I think that may have been a bad button push. So we'll see what they say on that. I didn't go live on Instagram. I apologize for that. Well, you don't know that. They don't know that, but now they do. So they'll be joining in late. So if you're joining on Instagram already this morning, good morning. Sorry, I forgot to push the go live button there. All right, so everybody's under a winter weather advisory. So let's go ahead and walk you through the details. I'm going to start you off with our Futurecast model. Now, Again, some of us have some sunshine out there. Others are overcast gray with some light snow showers. And that's going to be the story. Most of the snow this morning is going to slowly wind down over the next couple of hours, but then regenerate as we get into the afternoon. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, I think it's overdoing the sunshine, although we have quite a bit of sunshine in some locations, just not all locations. And I'll show you some other camera views coming up here in just a second of some sunnier weather in parts of town. By noon today, the clouds will start to fill back in. Here comes our next piece of energy. The wind is going to start to really crank up as this piece of energy comes on in. So as the kids head home from school, here comes those convective snow showers. And remember, temperatures are only going to stay in the 30s throughout the day today with wind chill values in the 20s. It's cold. It cuts right through you this morning, and that's the story all day long. So the clouds fill back in, but I don't think it's going to be overcast and gray. I do think that we're going to see some afternoon sunshine with some hit and miss snow showers that will set up in those northwest to southeasterly bands. Again, some of you will get some decent snow. Some of you probably not going to get a whole lot at all. But as we get past about 7 to midnight, we'll go 10 to midnight tonight, the snow machine really starts to die down, even for the Smoky Mountains, and that storm system moves on out. But because we're going to have clearing skies overnight tonight, it's going to be bone chilling. And remember, with the interactive radar in the East Tennessee Weather app, if you push play on it and you're on the national radar, which I'll show you the app coming up here in just a second, you'll get past current and future radar of 2 hours. So it really helps you out. I've shown you this over the last couple of days, all weekend long anyways. This is just precipitation, not rainfall, not snowfall, just precipitation. It doesn't account to if it's going to be liquid or frozen. This gives us a good idea on where the snow will really set up shop. Now, it's going to be snow today. And so the Cumberland Mountains, the Northern Plateau, places like Crossville, Jamestown, and the northwest-facing slopes of the Cumberland Plateau will get the majority of the snow. And that pushes all the way up into parts of Campbell County, Claiborne. So we're going to see some snow up towards Jellicoe and La Follette and Scott County. And then, of course, Upper East Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains because they face the northwest. And so we're going to get that strong northwesterly flow, and that orographic lift helps to produce more snow across the mountains. So where you see the darker shades, or rather the lighter shades, I should say, or the darker shades of green, that's where we're expecting the majority of the snow. Now, this has been toned down quite a bit from what we were even talking about last night for the Smoky Mountains, but still 0.35 inches of precipitation all the way up to 0.63 inches of precipitation lets us know at a 10-to-1 ratio that we're probably going to get 3, 6, 10 plus inches of snowfall. So let's walk you through the details again. Here's our snowfall. We've already gotten snow across the Smoky Mountains, and so as we progress through the day today, watch as this next piece of energy comes our way, how it's going to elevate those snow chances and those snow bands, and the snow is going to continue to pile up in the mountains. So still going about a dusting to 1. I haven't really changed a whole lot. I've modified a little bit here and there, but dusting to 1 across the Cumberland Plateau. And as I've been mentioning all weekend long as well, it's not necessarily, now through the day and into the evening hours, whatever's on the ground is going to be with us tomorrow morning, and that will be some measurable snow. But the snow that you've gotten already this morning in some locations, grassy areas, rooftops, some of those back roads, is not going to be with us. Because remember, ground temperatures are going to gradually warm, which I'll show you here in a second as well. A little closer to the Smoky Mountains, still going up to a foot of snow. I don't know why those numbers are moving, but anyways, we're just going to move those numbers. Anyways, up to a foot of snow, but likely to see a good solid 4 to 8 inches across the highest peaks of the Smokies. I think we'll see a dusting plus from places like Seymour to Pigeon Forge, maybe Alcoa, down towards Walland and Townsend. As you get closer to the foothills, you're likely to get closer to about a dusting to an inch. Cades Cove, Tremont, places like Davenport, Cosby could see a 1 to 3 inches when all is said and done. And that's snowfall totals. That's not necessarily measurable snowfall, but we're going to see how this all plays out. But of course, this is a solid mountain storm system. So let's talk road temperatures for a second, because from now through noon, look at this, the road temperatures warm quickly. And somebody asked me yesterday on social media, and I think we talked about this yesterday morning, how are the road temperatures going to be 50 degrees today and the snow melt when the air temperatures are going to be in the 30s and wind chills are going to be in the 20s? You got to realize that the earth is still warm from the summer and fall months, right? We're still technically in fall. And so because of that, we radiate that heat from the earth, and that's going to warm the road temperatures up. So anything that's on the ground here this morning is likely just to turn wet throughout the day. And then the snow machine cranks back up and road temperatures dip down into the 20s and 30s tomorrow morning because it's going to be considerably colder. So like I said, anything at sundown tonight will be what we have on the ground tomorrow morning. This morning, by the way, temperatures are trending 15 to 25 degrees colder than what we had yesterday morning. Temperatures are only in the 20s. It is cold with wind chill values in the teens. And those winds are going to be with us all day long, gusting to about 20, 25 miles per hour. Now, it's not going to be a super windy day, but a gusty day. And that's going to lead those afternoon temperatures in the 20s, in the 30s. Look at your wind chill values all day over the next 24 hours. And then tomorrow morning, wind chill values will be down into the teens. And so brutally cold air and a shock to the system, no doubt about it. So tomorrow morning, we start off in the 20s, but we're still going to hang on to the wind. So the wind is still going to be with us throughout the day tomorrow, gusting again to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And so that is going to give our wind chill values in the 30s. We'll probably climb into the 40s tomorrow, but wind chill values will be in the 30s all day. And then after tomorrow, it's a thing of the past, and a nice little warming trend is on the way, and we're going to be pushing close to 70 come Saturday and Sunday. Not a bad little, bad little introduction, if you will, to the winter season. Listen, and I think most of you said this on social media as well. If it's going to snow, or if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow. I would totally agree with that. All right, let's go to, we'll put this up for a second while, just loop this radar while I take a look at the chat, see what you all are saying. If you have any questions, let me know. Good morning to you all. Let's see, Laura says there's snow on the rooftops in the grassy areas. Makes her smile. Today could be the someday. Today is the someday, Jason. One of the newest members of the Witcher Weather Watcher group, which is great. Good to see you here. What's up, Dustin? How are you this morning? Good Monday morning, Mike. Everyone, happy Monday. You guys are all got a good attitude. Oh, nobody wants to be sick. I've got several friends that are sick right now. Got some snow flurries right now showing up in Hamblen County. Thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. Cheryl, it is cold outside. Hey, did you know, by the way, that we have now seen snow here in East Tennessee before Denver, Colorado? Like, say what? Like, Denver's struggling to get any sort of snowfall, and typically they have some decent snow by this time of the year. And now we're getting our first snow before they get their first snow. How about them apples? And did you see I got the sweater on? It is officially sweater weather, but not come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll put these sweaters back in the drawers. I had to take it out and throw it in the dryer to unwrinkle it. It's just sitting in there all summer long, right? Let's see. Came to Gatlinburg to get snowed in. Nope, no snow here, but snowing like crazy at home. Well, hold on, Becky. Remember, I said this is just the initial onset. It's going to get cranking as that next piece of energy comes on through later on this afternoon. What's up, Kenny? How are you this morning? Let's see. Dustin on the deck. Rooftops, decks, back roads, some of those dirt roads that aren't going to be quite as warm as the concrete or the pavement. What's up, Kathy? How are you this morning? Not ready for this cold Monday? Well, you better get ready, my friend. It's here. Trust me. Like, we were getting the kids all the winter coats. We didn't do it last night, because why would we have done that last night? Getting all the kids getting all the winter coats out. And my kid put his jacket on and goes, well, I think I've grown a little bit this year. It didn't fit. All right, pass that on down to your brother. The hand-me-downs continue. Instagram's on, buddy. Yeah, I've got 6 people watching on Instagram. Seth, let's see. I don't know what you're talking about here. I don't know what you're talking about, Crystal. But I don't post stuff just to get reactions. A lot of people do on social media. And there's a gentleman actually here in town in Gatlinburg that does national stuff. He does hurricane stuff. And he's blowing up social media. Crazy like crazy. Cold and windy at the golf course. Ain't nobody gonna be golfing today. If you're golfing today, you are a diehard. Nicole wants some snow. Polar plunge, anyone? Yeah, sure, why not? Did that back in Boy Scouts back in the day. Little bit of snow here in Tazewell. Again, I just didn't want you to get your hopes up. Hoping that we were going to wake up to like a huge blanket of snow this morning, because that was never the story, but definitely going to continue to see more snow developing throughout the day today. We've got a lot of people joining us this morning, so thank you so much for tuning in and checking out the latest forecast. Again, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, go download it today. How about this? I'll throw the link in the chat right now for those of you that may not have it. If you're watching on your cell phone this morning, you won't be able to grab that QR code that's been up on the screen, but let me throw this in the chat here. And you can click on that link, and that will take you right to your app store, whether you're Android or iPhone. And as you do so, let's see. I don't know if that came all the way through. Here's the link. Here's the link itself for those of you that want to track the snow today. And of course, snowy weather, stormy weather, severe weather, it's all there. There we go. There's the link in the chat. Just click on that. Oh, we were talking about meteorologist Chris Nunley. Yeah, I actually yelled at him yesterday on his social media post. I was like, get out of here. He's talking about blizzard conditions on his post. Okay, when it hits close to home like that, and you see what somebody like Chris Nunley is doing on social media, if you've seen him on your social media posts, he posts all nonsense across the country. Now, some of it's pertinent information, but it's literally clickbait. He's got 300,000 followers. He's making $100,000 a year on social media because he's posting all this stuff out, and people like and share and subscribe to that nonsense. And half the times you can't even tell what he's posting because it's just a bunch of colors and labels and all this other stuff. So yeah, I actually reached out to him or commented on one of his posts yesterday. I said, stop the nonsense and quit following this kid and quit subscribing to his nonsense. That's why I always say, like, share, and subscribe and share things from a trusted source like Mike Witcher and East Tennessee Weather. I'm just throwing it out there. Yep, I gotcha. Drives me bananas, Shelby. Anyways, if you're new to the platform, it's time to take a look at some of those national holidays, weather history, and also history across the world. So if you want to stick around, we have a lot more fun. Plus, we're going to be sharing some Witcher's pictures. That's what I like to call them. Witcher's pictures. Right now, we'll take you back outside. We'll show you. Anybody want to go to the lake? Yikes, that looks cold, doesn't it? It's a cold, blustery start to the day. All right, what's in store for those national holidays? I've not even taken a look at them yet. Here they are. All right, it's November 10th, so of course we're celebrating birthdays and events. Any birthdays and events out there, please let us know. We like to pass that along. We're a community, right? It's National Civic Pride Day on November 10th. It's National Vanilla Cupcake Day. I'll take that. I don't really like cupcakes a whole lot, but I'll eat some vanilla cupcakes, not the chocolate ones. It's National Forget Me Not Day, and it's United States Marine Corps' birthday. Big shout out to the Marine Corps. And National Forget Me Not and National Civic Pride Day, with tomorrow being Veterans Day. All right, on this date in history, on November 10th, how about this? We got quite a few. In 2002, severe thunderstorms developed ahead of a cold front and produced widespread severe weather with many tornadoes. The worst tornado damage was concentrated in Ohio, Tennessee, and Alabama. I remember this actually, 2002. I came here in 2005, but in Ohio they had an EF4. In 1989, windy and wet weather prevailed across Washington state with gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour at Rattlesnake Ridge near Hartford. In 1989, strong southwesterly winds prevailed along the eastern slopes of the Rockies. In Montana and Wyoming, winds of 80 to 90 miles per hour, up to 112 mile per hour gusts in parts of Montana. Crazy. In 1988, strong winds circulating around a deep low pressure system in southeastern Ontario buffeted the northeastern U.S., hitting the Great Lakes with over 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, nearly 80 mile per hour winds, and 4 people were injured due to a tree being blown down onto a car. In 1987, a cold front brought snow to the Appalachian region and freezing temperatures in the central U.S. We had in 1975 another freshwater fury. I like these. It hit the Great Lakes. A large ore carrying carrier on Lake Superior. The Edmund Fitzgerald sank near Crisp Point with the loss of its crew of 29 men. It was 1975. In 1915, an unusually late season tornado struck the central Kansas town of Great Bend, killing 11 people along its track of 35 miles. And on this date around the world, the quote of the day today is, most women set out to try to change a man, and when they have changed him, they don't like him. That was Marlene Dietrich. In 1997, WorldCom Inc. acquired MCI Communications Corporation. It was the largest merger in U.S. history, valued at $37 billion. In 1969, Sesame Street made its debut on PBS. Not bad. In 1969 also, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Gene Autry received a gold record. The song had been released 20 years earlier in 1949. In 1954, the Iowa Memorial was dedicated in Arlington, Virginia. Sorry if I butcher these names. Not great at this kind of stuff. In 1928, yep, there's another great name, was enthroned as Emperor of Japan. I won't even try to say his name. Hirohito. In 1801, the U.S. state of Tennessee, that would be us, outlawed the practice of dueling. Outlawed the practice of dueling. What is dueling? Do you know what dueling is? If you know what dueling is, put it in the chat. I have no idea what that is. In 1775, the U.S. Marines were organized under authority of the Continental Congress. The Marines went out of existence after the end of the Revolutionary War in April of 1783. The Marine Corps were formally reestablished on July 11th, 1978. The more you know. And if you know what the practice of dueling is, let me know. Let me know. All right, let's take it back outside. See if we can see any snow. Yeah, how about them apples? We got a little bit of snow on the rooftops in downtown Anderson County. So we've had a couple of those snow bands coming on through, and you can see in the radar on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, we still have a little bit of snow developing around the area, but again, it will redevelop throughout the afternoon. Right now in Newport, it's 27 with a high today of 36 and a wind chill value of in the 20s. Oh, we're talking guns, dueling guns. Is that what that is? I mean, it would make sense. It was what that was 1801. Sword fighting, maybe? Sword fights? Guns, says Beverly. Is the shutdown? I've not even seen on the national news. Is the shutdown officially over? If so, dueling is the act of shooting. Ah, love it, Tom. Take 10 steps, turn, and shoot. Pew, pew, pew. Dustin. Oh, I love it. Pew, pew, pew. Could you imagine? I couldn't even imagine doing a dueling. Like, that was 1801. They outlawed that. Crazy. That's awesome. See, the more you know. Sword fights, gun fights. Two people have a disagreement and challenge each other to a duel. They have a gun and start to walk back. Yeah, like the old Wild Wild West days, right? You walk back to back and then you turn and shoot. Like, how many times did people actually make it to the full 10 steps or 5 steps or whatever, however many steps you're supposed to take before you like, ha, gotcha. Your back is turned. You're done. Who came up with that? Dueling. What a weird thing that is. All right, let's share some photos with you this morning. If you're still sticking around. Still have quite a few people joining us this morning, so I'm glad you're joining the program. We do this Monday through Friday at 7:30 in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, by the way, at 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you ever want to join in on Wake Up with Witcher, I always send those push alerts through the notifications through the East Tennessee Weather app. So if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, you'll get those. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, well, you won't get those. But how about this nice snow-capped mountain from Peter Cooper? That is awesome. Peter says on this one, Holston Mountain this morning from Johnson City. Peter, that is awesome. Love it. Morristown at Cherokee Lake, Joni Ellis. I think it was Joni Ellis. Let me double check on the name there. It's probably going to come in sideways because it's a vertical photo. Wish I had changed so that they don't do that, but hold on, stand by. There it is. We'll rotate that. Grassy areas, rooftops, decks, back porches, but the concrete is wet. That's Morristown at Cherokee Lake. That was Joni Ellis. I was right on that one. And another one from Hamlin County, elevation 1,600 feet above sea level. That's a cool view of Cherokee Lake in the distance. Hold on, stand by. It's going to come in sideways again. There it is. Love to see Cherokee Lake right there in the distance. How beautiful is that? That is so pretty. And I think I have a couple photos to share with you as well this morning from some folks sharing those on social media. Let's see if I can't get those to you. And airdrop. We'll send those to my computer. All right, just doing that from my cell phone. All right, so here's one. This I don't know exactly who these were sent in by. I do on my cell phone, but I don't know. Let's see for you. This one right here was sent in by Ashley S. Oh yeah, this is my Witcher Weather Watcher. So Ashley S is a Witcher Weather Watcher. That's a Newport Cott County there. We've got another great view from Cott County of just a nice little dusting of snow. How about that one? This one was sent in by Regina, also from Hartford, Cott County. Also a Witcher Weather Watcher. Go to those folks before I go pretty much anywhere else, actually, to be honest with you. Here's another one from Kathy Walker. Big snow in Jefferson City this morning. She was laughing. Not so much of a big snow, but definitely coating the decks in the back yards. And here is another one coming in from this one. I don't know who that one's from, actually, to be honest with you. Took a screen grab of it, saved the photo, and don't even know who it's from. But that is another little bit of a snowy picture here this morning. You have to be drunk to duel? I'd have to be crazy. You have to be crazy. Sir, we grew up in the late 1900s, yes. What's La Follette going to be like around 1 to 2 o'clock this afternoon? Probably increasing chances for snow. Again, anytime after about noon, start to anticipate a little bit more snow to start to redevelop around the area. But what I wanted to share with you this morning is, let's go back here. Let me show you the East Tennessee Weather app, okay? So if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, we are broadcasting live right there at the top of the screen. You can see how that's populating there. So that shows up on your iPads and your iPhones or just your cell phones. Sorry, Android users. But if you scroll down, you'll see exactly what's going on. There's the interactive radar. So if you click the interactive radar and then you push play, there's your past 2 hours. And then it will pause. There's your current time. And there's your future cast of 2 hours. So again, it gives you an idea. See this little bowling ball of energy to our north? See how that's going to be diving its way southward? That's what we're going to be watching as we get into the afternoon. So you can see over the next couple of hours, it's going to start to work its way into northwestern Kentucky. That puts us at 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So then that's going to be diving its way towards Nashville and East Tennessee. And as that comes on in, that's going to bring in all that activity. So not only can you watch East Tennessee weather right there, front and center at the top of the screen right there. Watch as I push play. There it is. Push play there. And so let's see if we can catch up. See, I just talked about that. So there I am, and here I am, and here we are. And what? Huh? Where? Who? Yeah. You get the point. So make sure you download the East Tennessee Weather app today to check in on the snow. Flurries right now in Johnson City. Thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate that. At least it's going somewhere. I suppose so. You like to watch on Facebook so I can read the comments and respond. I like that as well. I just want you to have the East Tennessee Weather app just in case, due to the fact that, listen, we all know that if social media, Zuckerberg or anybody on social media makes a wrong statement, if you will, i.e. political, sometimes things can take a turn for the worse pretty quickly. Here's a live look, by the way, at Anakeesta here this hour. You can see the white on the rooftops back in the distance in Gatlinburg, right there. There's downtown Gatlinburg, and some white on the rooftops. You got some snow on the canopies at Anakeesta. Not a ton right now along the foothills of the Smoky Mountain National Park, but this will change through the day as we get into the afternoon and evening. Again, our second piece of energy is going to bring us a better bout of snow and a strong northwesterly wind. Once these clouds clear on out, we're going to see some nice snow right there at the peaks of the Smokies. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. Well, my friends, I sure hope you have a great day today. It's cold today for sure. Snow showers will redevelop as we get into the afternoon. Share your photos on all social media platforms with East Tennessee Weather. You can upload those through Witcher's Pictures on the East Tennessee Weather app. I think it's called Submit a Photo. I call them Witcher's Pictures. 1 minute with Witcher, wake up with Witcher. I've got a name apparently you can just rhyme with pretty easily. Who knew? Back in the day, I didn't know that. All right. Anyways, no sledding snow necessarily, but Mindy does love the app, even though she's joining us on Facebook this morning so she can comment. And I love that about that. But the app's good for when you're out and about. If you're at work and severe weather pops up or snowy weather or whatever it may be. I'm also on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and YouTube. So you can put East Tennessee Weather up on the big screens. If you want to watch the weather, you got a business today, or you got your business, you have several TVs, download the Roku app or open it up on YouTube and check out East Tennessee Weather where you can watch all day long. By the way, if you are joining on the app, I'll send you right back to the 24-hour channel where I will send you right back to my latest forecast, which I'm going to be updating, by the way, because when I recorded that, we did not have a winter weather advisory in place across the area. Remember, we have a winter weather advisory until 7 o'clock tonight for all of East Tennessee with winter storm warnings for the mountains. Storms are going to, the snow shower is going to crank back up anytime after about 3 o'clock today. So it is going to be snowy for the evening commute for some of us. Bone chilling tomorrow morning, but a nice warm up. We're back to near 70 as we get into the upcoming weekend with maybe another chance for rain. How about that? All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. Stay warm. It's a chilly day.
This army of sinners forgot to fight for the cause, while the visionaries run a race that's already lost. And it's you, oh it's you. It's you, oh it's you. There's a schoolboy standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint twists and turns up the alley just like it should. So your colors, they start and it's stripping you